Man, brother, I just got to tell you, man, I am shocked by what's going on.
Really? Why are you shocked? Well, for people that don't know, because I'm just now, he went out. Where'd he go? Okay, we'll give him a second to come back in. But the topic is the growing trend of expressed hatred for Black men by Black women. And this is something that I've seen quite a few times, to be honest. In about the last year or two, it's, but now what really showed me how prevalent it may be, I don't have any empirical data as to how prevalent it may be. I just know from anecdotal experiences that I've seen brothers have that I know. But when I saw hundreds and hundreds of women in the clubhouse that these brothers showed me, and they basically were talking about disinvestment, basically disinvesting from Black men altogether in favor of men of European descent or white men. And it was like, I saw that. And right before that, I saw the video that I sent you brothers.
Yeah.
And where he was addressing it, and I think the title was something like, what do you do when you're a woman, the women of your race might have been, I don't know if he said hate you or at war. I can't remember exactly what the brother said. Very intelligent brother. He's a lawyer out of Texas. And he deals with men's issues. I like listening to him. Came across his page. But yeah, I would like to know what you brothers think. I don't know who wants to get started.
Go ahead, big brother Albert. You got the floor.
No.
Come on,
big brother. I got some in last night. So I'm gonna let somebody else go ahead.
Brother Albert, I'm going to bed. Then next thing I know, Brother Albert in another chat going ham. I'm like, I thought you was going to bed.
Man, I just couldn't. You know what? I don't think people realize it. I don't believe this started organically.
Explain what you mean, bro.
Okay, I don't believe that somebody just woke up one day and started hating this. These seeds was planted. Now, me and you had disagreed on some stuff before when I said this started somewhere after the Civil Rights Movement. When James Earl Jones come out with criticism of Black women in general, and but the reason why I'm wondering about this. One of the women talked about in the 60s, when everybody was on one accord, the Black family. And the reason why that we marched together and we had one mission, one agenda. And so somebody didn't like that unity and that power, because for the people to stay off a bus for a whole year, the carpool, the network, and shut down a bus company, they said that was too much. So it was too much unity. So one of y'all said, I think somebody said the FBI and Gloria Steinem was involved in this.
Yeah.
Women's movement. That we marched together and we had one mission, one agenda. Okay. And so somebody didn't like that unity and that power, because for the people to stay off a bus for a whole year, carpool, the network, not that slow behind, shut down a bus company, they said that was too much. So it was too much unity. So one of y'all said, I think somebody said the FBI and Gloria Steinem was involved in this.
Yeah.
Women's movement. We marched together. We had one mission, one agenda. And so somebody didn't like that unity and that power, because I don't know what's going on.
Is it what's going on with the chat?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was actually me.
Okay.
That was me. It was on YouTube. My apologies.
No problem. Well, the reason why I said it wasn't organic.
Hold on 1 second. I apologize, brother.
Okay.
Isaiah in here now? Okay, cool. All right, brother, go ahead. My fault.
Yeah, I mean, peace.
But
Go ahead, brother.
there was too much. I think there was too much unity at that time behind a coordinated goal. So this movement, this feminine movement, helped destroy the unity in the Black community, to keep us destroyed and going at each other. And I believe it's grown, and it grew to now it's at a it's festering at a rate that something I've never heard of. I heard you gentlemen talk about in the past. Now I'm hearing it, and I'm shocked by it. So I believe these seeds were planted outside of our community, and they brought people in to listen to it, and they've exported this and brought it back to our own demise. Because I can't for the life of me fathom how this agenda is good for our community. Like I was telling the ladies last night, we're in worse shape society as a whole, but especially in our community, with following this feminist movement. So that's why I say I think this was it was a coordinated effort to continue to destroy the family and the Black community. But anyway.
Do you think it was so you think are you saying government entities? I mean, who do you expect?
Hoover. That was his whole goal. The man said that Black nationalism was the biggest threat to the security of the United States. Who else would I suspect now? Can I prove any of that? Absolutely not. But we can go on that based on the documentation that has been released through the Freedom of Information Act. I feel safe assuming that when Gloria Steinem was funded by the FBI. Now, correct me if I'm off on some stuff, brother. You know.
Well, I'm gonna ask a question.
Oh, okay.
So was it necessary for us, specifically women, to be complicit in this?
No.
Right.
No, that's why I always ask people.
You don't think it required women to be complicit?
Oh, yes, it did. But I was mentioning no because I don't think they needed to join it. But something was promised them. They're dealing with people join the organization. I asked them, what did they expect from it? You know, like even when you get into marriage, when you join organizations, what did you expect in return? Because you don't just join it blindly. So a bill of goods was sold to you. So I'm asking the people who've done it, who bringing this back home and saying they don't need men, what do they really think is going to happen besides destruction? And like I said, the guy asked for evidence. I showed him the evidence every night at 6 o'clock on the news.
But they weren't seeing they were claiming that you can't basically prove the connection between feminism and the problems that you see in the community.
Even after I told them these brothers are getting in trouble, said they wish they had their dads because they don't believe they'd be in this situation.
They say they don't believe that what you was saying.
They don't want to hear it.
They didn't want to hear it. The male moderator certainly didn't want to hear it. It's funny how these male moderators on each one of these things compare this to the women of the panel. I only want to tell you, I don't mean they're gonna date you, brother. Why you gotta why you just can't stand as a man and just be fair as far as what people are saying? But and kept saying he was being fair, but then with any time a man would say anything, right, and it was clear. I even saw, I don't know if you brothers are still on. I kept listening, and he told one, he was like, well, yes, sister, y'all both said the same thing, both is anecdotal. You said this, and a brother gave a good, clear, it was anecdotal, but he gave a good, clear example of what he was talking about. He said, I just don't know what you're talking about. So, but you was going against everybody.
That's okay. Because you know what? Even after I got off the phone, my mission is still the same. Except I did stay up too late. It was a rough morning. But even after all that criticism, when a couple of them jumped on me at one time or whatever, my job is the same. My job is the same. I'm not fading. I'm not
And
gonna fake.
let me say this: what I really truly appreciated about what you did, you made it very plain to them that this is about having an opinion. Because I'm a firm believer in not censoring people and what they have to say,
Right.
because that's the way in which you get closer to truth.
Right.
Either what's gonna happen is you're going to continue to affirm what you believe and being strengthened in what you believe, or as more evidence is shown unto you and you're convinced by somebody, you can abandon what you believe because you find out it doesn't have any merit. You were very adamant about saying, this is my opinion, and you are supposed to come at me like this.
Yeah,
You
I did
said
tell
something of that nature, and I was appreciative because that's how men actually, that's how they come. But one thing about it, it doesn't have to be ad hominem. It could just be we having it's okay. Basically, you affirm the idea that it was okay to have an opinion.
Right.
And to express what you believe, even if nobody else believes you.
Right. I didn't mix my words.
No,
I didn't mumble.
and
I was making it clear.
I appreciated that. I appreciated that because I think more of that needs to take place because of the time we're living in, the censorship that's going on, it's a crime to have free thought, individual thought. You have to have groupthink today. So as they were bouncing off their ideas that I spent a lot of time in academia, the ideas that they garnered in academia, it's a lot of, excuse my language, but mental masturbation in a lot of these places, and the actual application of these ideas and the benefit of these ideas that we have taken and wrestled with, and we think, well, basically it's a lot of regurgitation.
Right.
When the reality is, there is no, it's not like you're gonna be okay while black men are destroyed.
Right. Well, good brother, these women have sons at home running brothers down, and they wonder why their sons don't have confidence. And so I don't understand if they realize that they're harming their own sons. Because if I don't run women down, I have daughters. Now I do ask them to let go of all this madness that they hear from time to time. But and the one thing that got me when the lady brought up the scriptures, and I said, no, that's not how it reads, or something like that, they wouldn't give me the floor again.
They wouldn't let you. She tried to say that her position as a dominant, quote unquote, independent woman it coincides with Proverbs 31 and how she's that kind of woman. If I can't take care of myself and not need a man, how could I be a Proverbs 31 woman? I said, why you pick that, and why you didn't pick where Sarah called Abraham Lord? Why you didn't pick and you're not a virtuous woman. She don't even know. She not only is not a virtuous woman, she, unfortunately, like most women and men, because of the society that we're in, you don't even know what it means to be a woman. Just like these brothers don't know what it means to be a man. Because if they knew what it meant to be a man, quite frankly, they really wouldn't care what these women are saying. Yeah. Not saying you don't care about women. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it'd be like, well, it's like right now, it's like a bunch of CEOs sitting around and the secretary is running everything. They run, and then they worried about how the secretary is gonna feel about something. Right. I know that's not how he say that, because if you understand what a woman is and what her woman's role is, or what your role is, you wouldn't be going for this foolishness. But we have all been indoctrinated for decades and decades and decades in feminism. Mm-hmm. And we don't even realize. It's almost invisible. Anybody been watching the Olympics? Everything is about the women that's on television, that are competing. Right. Every commercial is targeted towards women. That's the storyline. That's being perpetuated. And men are more than 50 years behind what's going on. Yeah. They don't even realize what's happening. I talked a lot. Anybody else, Brother Willie, you wanna step in? Peace to you, Brother Eula. Peace to you, Brother Wayne.
I was kind of lost in what was taking place between Albert and the room last night. What was the topic on?
Yeah,
what
you
was he speaking
y'all. Yeah, it was
I
just
had to go to
Albert. He
bed,
was
man.
just.
You talking about that first
It was
room?
Albert by himself, and I was just listening. I was like, "What's
They
going
wouldn't
on?"
let me in the first room, brother, where the real toxin was.
Yeah,
Yeah, when it was like
I held my hand
200,
up
300 people.
it
Yeah,
was
they was letting
500
people jump in
women
front
in
of me. They wouldn't let me in. They let a couple
Mm-hmm.
gay fellas talk, and a whole
Yeah,
lot of women jumped in
he
front
hate
of me.
black men too. I get apparently.
Oh.
Like you said, you had a bio though. Your bio
My
said too
bio's
much.
blank.
Yeah.
All
You said
that-
it's blank?
I didn't
Yeah,
write
he
a
said it was
bio.
blank. His bio is that beard though.
My picture, yeah.
That's right.
You look
right.
masculine in your picture. That's why they're like, nah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah, they ain't. But anyway, never mind. People participating in stuff to their own destruction, and I just can't believe women are gone. If you like something else, that's fine, but don't destroy other people because you don't like it or something. I just don't. I'm just baffled. I'm hurt. I'm hurt because people are going at it.
Yeah, that room was about feminism. It was about black. Has feminism been a benefit to black people? With something that
Did it hurt the black community?
did it hurt the black? Thank you. Did it hurt the
I
black?
said, yeah.
Mm.
But anyway.
So he was in that room, and I saw, how that thing, because I'm just getting used to Clubhouse, and it just comes on. It's like, Brother Albert is. I'm like, Brother Albert, where? I thought this brother said he going to bed. So I go in there, yeah, and another thing. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Brother Albert going in, and they triggering everybody in there, and they using $25 words that they don't understand,
Right.
and talking about, well, I go to a college of. What did she say? It costs $250,000. Okay, you don't have sense enough
You in debt, that's all.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
broke, that's all. $250,000.
Paying them loans off of them.
And can't find a husband.
Bro, you know what? If she did with the mentality that she has, she wouldn't be beneficial to him.
No.
And that's why I was saying they don't know their role. A woman, even when you say woman, it comes from Isha, from man. She mentioned being a helpmeet, but what she was talking about wasn't being a helpmeet.
Right.
She's on her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, people don't know their role. So when you don't know your role, you can't progress. And we as a people, somebody said, why are we talking about this? The issue between black men and black women right now is one of the biggest, obviously the word. Yeah. But this is because we don't know the word, and that's being manifested. Because the word tell you how to be a man, how to be a woman, how to be a child.
Right.
We are at civil war.
Yeah. Yes.
We are at civil war with one another. Real talk, man. The venom, because like I said, what I heard in the one before, it was a day or so ago.
It's crazy.
It was way worse.
Mm.
The hatred was way worse. Made that look, like I said, like Sesame Street, the one we listened to. How they were talking about black men. And it was sisters. They tell me, you ain't built nothing, you ain't nothing, you a detriment. It'd be better that you die, it'd be better that you be incarcerated. Wow.
Yeah, brother.
You ain't nothing, you gay. I mean, that's what they were saying. It was, you talk about toxic. It was like I said, what we listened to was nothing compared to this.
It almost seemed like they feel like Deuteronomy 28 only applies to men. Like we're the only ones who should have taken the brunt of the curses. Not that we should have, but they had no part in it. You understand what I'm saying? As a nation of people, they almost act like they take no accountability for the reason we're in this situation as a whole. And unfortunately, black men, of course, from what we've been through and what we've earned through our sin here and getting sent here, we fell off, but these women have lost a full understanding of what we were and how we're supposed to get back to. They completely just see, okay, let's just completely leave our kind alone. They're worthless, but they don't understand they were part of the reason we're in this situation. We as a nation, men and women, black, ended up here because of what we've done. We've done. And now they're trying to find a scapegoat. They're trying to find the next group of men to come pick up. We're stuck in the curse still, right? We're stuck in the curse still, trying to make it work. But they're trying to find, such and such to come and save them out of their curse.
They're saying
out of their curse. You stuck in this curse with us. I'm sorry to tell them, but you stuck in this curse with us. And guess what? Them white men gonna show you stuck in this curse with us. Them Asian men gonna show you stuck in this curse with us. I don't care where you go. You can't run from what God put on us, number one. Number two, if you get back in this word, you would understand where you went wrong and what you're doing still incorrectly. And yes, it's going to take both men and women, black men and women, to understand what we have done incorrectly. But to sit there and issue on black men the way they have, as if they've been doing all they were supposed to be doing from the jump. I kind of feel like how it's sad to say, but when God said, you know what, I'll destroy all of them, Moses, and make a new seed out of you. Make the nation out of you. I'm almost like us men. We carry the black gene. We carry the black seed. Guess what? You be stuck with nobody, and we'll go make a whole bunch of black children with a whole bunch of other races. That ain't gonna never change. That ain't gonna never change.
No,
so if you want to be,
just say that.
Listen. I love my black women. I love my black
goodness.
women, but
at
at
the
the end,
setting it off.
Listen, I love my black. I love my black women. Right. At the end of the day, if you're not going to understand where we are today and where we need to be, and we'll stop this, finger pointing.
Right.
Black men would do it even worse. If they walk away, y'all ain't contributing to your own nationality anymore. Because anybody else go inside you and make a baby, that's them. You don't want to be a part of the black cultivating and the black race? Go ahead, walk away. But black men will always keep us alive unless genocide happens. That's the only thing that's going to stop us. Genocide. So I would suggest that black women, get yourself together. Black men, get yourself together. Figure out how to do it together. Or black men going to keep on making the black race prosper without you. Sorry to say it, but that's the truth. Black seed is in the man, it ain't in the woman. Sorry, I love everybody.
No, brother, you can't say that after that. No, it's uncomfortable. There are some uncomfortable things that need to be said. And that's true. I didn't know where you was going with the Moses, but yeah, that is at least biblically the lineage goes to the man. It's this idea for some, because of ignorance. Again, you want to talk about who birthed who. Like I said earlier, I don't think people realize, because they say, even they would go to the far, you hear these hotel Negroes say black woman is God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say the woman, I'm carrying life. You incubate life. The life, like the brother was saying, is in the man. As a matter of fact, you come from the man. He birthed you. He birthed you. He was made in the image in the likeness of God. You were made in the image of a man. You came from a man.
Right.
So, you know, there's definitely merit to what the brother is saying. But what I wanted to ask, since we going here, since he didn't already said what he said,
Khalil's waiting, man.
that's why I asked the question. I was gonna try to, because he just threw the door, but I was gonna try to, kind of knock a little bit, see if anybody home, ring the doorbell. But my question is it not in a woman's nature to be hypergamous and go with the one that's winning? Doesn't that explain a lot of this? Basically, that's the nature of women. We don't want to marry up to survive, and that's something that's biological. That's something that keeps humanity going on. You see what I'm saying? So the loser to any war, to one that was enslaved, the women become spoils of war. And then the women, oftentimes, not necessarily, it ain't always force.
Mm-hmm.
They will look at the situation and say, okay, I'm gonna go here. Now the situation now is the world is set, the Western society is set up in a way in which, like I was saying last night, they don't need us. That's women in general. They don't need us because men have built a society so well to where women can go and get a job in different places. Women can turn on water and it's running. Women can get in the car and the engine. They can do all these things. They can drive down roads. All this world has been constructed so well that they can tell you in your face, they don't need you.
They were saying that last night, but they
seem miserable. But that's after everything is built.
Go ahead, I'm sorry to cut you off. I did hear a nice study on this particular topic, and it says that women don't have the knowledge or the physical strength to keep it going, and they would die out because they don't have enough time to learn it and physically be able to pick up the infrastructure where the men left off before they start dying off to actually keep it running.
Yeah, I heard Kevin Samuels say that.
Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, yeah, you could run off. You could piggyback and run off it for a while, but usually men train men, like he was saying. Men train men. They teach them word of mouth or whatever, hands on. By the time women get to picking up in the book and physically trying to do the job that a man is able to do, need 2 or 3 women to do it. It's going to be too late.
But this is the thing here too. Besides societal collapse that would require women to take that position, or because that's hypothetical. In the meantime, in between time, what you have is straight rebellion. See, we could talk about what we did do. That's true. Like I even said it, but the reality is that everything's been built. The reality is that this is a gynocracy right now. When you look at the politics, the laws, culturally, this society, and it's going to be detrimental, but until that point where you have some type of collapse, look at what's happening. Look at what's happening. I understand exactly what you're saying. Like I even said, like men built everything for the most part. Men from when the country was first built, they cleared that lane. You know what I'm saying? They set up systems. So now the systems are built. The manuals have been written. Everything is there, and everything is running. And so, because everything is running, what are you doing in the meantime between? Because they say they don't need you. And that's problematic because for most of our existence, there's been this reciprocity where we've been dependent on each other for certain things. And that need for one another is a checks and balances.
Right.
It provides balance to the situation between men and women. See, we can't be like what they were talking about. You know, they were acting as if we're equal. We're not. What they're talking about though is not equal. Treating us the exact same is not actually equal. It's an imbalance. Because you're not playing your allotted role. Your role was allotted through biology and the design that God put forth when he made a man and when he made a woman. But when you go outside of that, you're playing outside of your position and can't wonder why it's not working. Well, we playing, think about a sport. Man, why he can't do it? Because he out of position. He's 6'2" trying to play center.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just out of position. This brother Khalil had his hand up. What's going on, brother?
Not much. I was actually thinking about this because a few days ago, it kind of ties into what Brother Elbert said. Black women are falling for the okie doke and they don't even know it. It's like y'all ever see the TV shows where the dad has a son and the son invites his friends over and his friends say they're friends, but then they start using this stuff and then they start breaking it and they start taking it home with them. And then it takes the dad to finally say, hey, these kids is using you. And the son's like, no, I know they're not. These are my friends. It's exactly what's happening. And on top of that, they don't have the accountability to say, okay, maybe I made a mistake and these aren't my friends. Like, let's say having a bad baby daddy, for instance. You can help who you open your legs up to.
Don't say it.
You can help who you date. Right?
My brothers are ruthless.
If I wrap my foot in bologna and a dog bites me, why would I be mad at the dog? It makes no sense. It's nonsense.
That's what the dog do.
If you go out and you're looking for a no good, excuse my language, you present yourself as the type of woman that is susceptible to having a no good nigga, you're gonna get a no good nigga.
That's the ER with the A. Is that the ER or the A at the end?
A.
That's with the A at the end. Okay.
With the A.
That's another thing. The inability to be accountable.
Yeah.
You know, you are mating with a specific group of men, not the whole collective. Because this whole thing, and that's one thing about it. Like I said, that brother Elbert, he said, no, bring it. You know, because that's what men do. They are accountable. But it's not in the nature to be accountable.
They ain't bring nothing, though.
I know, but it's not. And that's just what it is. And so we have taken the brunt. We've been called it all. Deadbeat, no good, gangster killer, hypersexualized, all that for decades, right? And we say, okay, and we will hold ourselves accountable. They won't do that. You got to hold yourself accountable for who you sleep with. Mm-hmm. You know, and you can't talk about, basically, it's framed as if, like Brother Isaiah, the first day he showed it to me, we went into a clubhouse and the woman, she like she had it written down, all the things that Black women have suffered at the hands of Black men. I'm like, wait a minute. And then she started talking about killing. She said, yeah, this many women have been killed by Black men this year. I said, hold on, how many babies y'all killed last week? You can't say nothing to me about killing when you done killed 20 million babies. I personally don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's what I'm saying. So you have wholeheartedly taken hold of this culture in this society. There is no us at this moment.
Right.
That's why I say it's civil war, and that's very dangerous for people.
Yeah. Yes,
and don't talk to me what you can't kill 20 million and then talk about Black men killing. I'm not justifying any unjust murder. What I'm saying is You can't sit there and act like you ain't got blood all over your hands, all over your dress, all over your shoes and socks.
And I think another thing is Black women need to stop being goofy. And what I mean by that is us sitting here having this conversation means we care.
Right.
If we didn't care, we would just let them burn and let, whatever the end result be the end result.
Son gonna be triggered.
Yes, it's gonna be triggered.
Because they ain't gonna be feeling what we talking about.
At the end of the day,
it's beyond the point of talking, actually.
Yeah.
Say that again.
It's actually beyond the point of talking.
Yeah.
It only people need to be talking is what we gonna do. That's the only real talk need to happen. Really, we can talk about that in the end, or even in private, what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because clearly it's a problem. Now, brother, that was a good insight you had, brother. Brother Austin or Eula, one of y'all was next. I'm not sure who was first.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, listen to what they were saying in those chats the other night. It was very disturbing just to see, just the level of hatred that they had. I knew that it was prevalent amongst feminists, but it was over 500 women in there, and so that's just something you can say that's probably what's going on, in general. And so just to see that level of hatred.
Hold on. My fault, bro.
No, you good.
Yeah, okay. So just and I think Brother Lawson, he got her up out of here. That's why I said people gonna be triggered. Said tell Black men keep their hands off Black women. That's another thing we ain't gonna act like. Are there men that? That's what I'm saying. Don't want to be accountable. Are there men that abuse women? Absolutely.
Yes.
But, and I say but, abuse is 50-50. Domestic abuse is 50-50. Do you know how many men I have seen get abused and hit by women and they don't say anything? They don't hit them. They try to leave. The woman called the police on them and they still go to jail without hitting them. You know how many men I've seen that have had women lie about hitting them?
And spend the weekend in lockup.
Spend the weekend in lockup. You know the kind of foolishness that I said, don't come with that nonsense. So now, yeah, if you don't like what we talking about, but they say hit the road, Jack.
Don't come back.
Don't you come back. She say, Black women isn't the problem. Trust we royalty. No, you're not. No, you are a problem. You are a problem and you not royalty. We got some serfs. Where's serfs at if everybody a queen? Don't be to see the Black man need to wake up and treat us better in Jesus' name. Listen, stop it. Don't put Jesus in your foolishness. Don't put him in your foolishness.
Problem is, half these women don't know what kind of man they should be looking for.
They don't even know what a woman
you
is.
have no idea what kind of man you should be looking for.
You don't know the one that would treated you right.
Right. He was too much of a good guy.
He nice. You know how many times, not to me personally, but I'm saying how many times I done heard women say about me and you too nice.
You too nice. You too nerdy.
Nice.
Tell that mess to somebody. That narrative is played out.
Yeah, brother, you know about my son that make the 6 figures. The one that the sisters didn't want.
Right.
Because I guess he's what is he, 5'9", but he built like a rock. You see,
he built like a pit bull.
Played ball and all that, but sisters didn't want him.
And they didn't want him.
So the other girl got him
because of his disposition, how he acted, mannerable, he had some sense.
Right. So the other girl got him, and they just bought a $400,000 house. Make my house look dumb, brother. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even got to fix his house like I had to fix mine. But sisters didn't want him.
Brother, when you say other girl, you mean Becky them?
He talking.
I love that girl.
Oh, all right,
That
all right.
girl.
I'm just,
I know what you're saying. But nah, she good
brother-
people. I done met
brother-
her whole fam and everything. Yeah, no,
Nice,
no.
nice,
It's a white girl. She took a good one. She took a good one. The sisters ain't money. He said, Dad, I was trying to date black women, but they didn't like me. And then the other boy, my other son, the one that do the AC and stuff.
Hey, let me help whoever this is out. You still running your mouth.
Yeah, but they did
Let me
this.
get you up out of here. Let me help you out.
But
How
my other,
you on this channel?
yeah, they didn't want my other boy either. So he getting married next month.
And remove you. That's what I'm saying. You shouldn't even be talking when men is talking.
Right. Because I'm having an issue with
That's your problem now.
yeah.
That's that Greek. That's that Greek in
You
them.
don't even men talking. Shut up.
That's that Greek. That's that Greek. That assimilation.
The hell wrong with you? Hey man, I'm sorry, man. I'm getting loud. I don't mean to get, but man, you shouldn't even be running your mouth or typing.
Yeah.
They trigger, bro. This is a touchy subject.
It is touchy, but see, they're not listening.
It's like
never did.
Respect.
It's
And
like
let me apologize to my brother Austin. Like, let's get back in order. That's my fault. Because that brother actually was making a point, and I cut him off to deal with that foolishness. So can we get back, and then I'm gonna go to brother Elbert after that. That's my fault.
Oh, it's all right.
That's my fault. Go ahead, brother.
But yeah, just seeing all of those women have that level of hatred for black men, it was disturbing to see. And then like for today, for example, I was in another chat, and they were talking about women in the workplace, and do women have like a disadvantage getting jobs or something like that. And it was men that was like explaining to them very clearly as to why like their assertions were wrong, and like why there's not a problem for women to get a job. And they use so much they use so many fallacies to just, they just were saying anything to combat what they were saying.
Right.
I doubt that they was actually considering what these men were saying to them. But it was like, you can't say anything to them at all, because they're not this is just not adding up in their head. And for me, for somebody my age, seeing that it's definitely it's tough. I'm not no simp or nothing like that. But just seeing like prospects for the future is just looking very bleak, because being celibate is not an easy task at all. Doing it every day, no, it's not easy. It's not easy.
You're a warrior, bro. You definitely a warrior.
So
You the man, bro.
Man. Yeah. You exercise and control most people can't do. That's control, brother.
So yeah, just seeing that is crazy, man. Crazy.
I'm gonna tell you better have some control until you find the right one, cause
Yeah.
one moment of weakness can lead to years and years of pain.
18 years.
Yeah,
18 years.
Nah, it's not happening.
One of the kids want his. You better keep stay the course.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, if these women out here on YouTube don't see a young brother like Austin as a prize, go ahead with yourself. Go ahead with yourself.
Hey,
No, I'm serious.
hey,
I'm serious.
like
Brother Austin is like the young epitome of what a young man's supposed to be today.
right.
Oh no, man.
And this is what you're looking for. This is the kind of man you're supposed to be looking for. And I'm gonna say it,
Right.
young, smart,
Zero mileage.
mileage. He ain't been with no funny people.
Manners.
You understand what I'm saying? The boy following the Lord, got
Respects
degrees, going to school. Hold on.
I'm about to ask.
Got respect. Yeah, he wear glasses. You want to call him nerdy? He everything you wish you had.
Hey, he about 6. What, you 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3", 6'4". You want to talk about, is he tall? Yo, listen.
He
Y'all better stop disrespecting good men, because that's what they look like.
They're gonna
That's
run
what they
another
look
one
like.
off. Gonna run another one off, brother.
Y'all gonna run another one off, and they're gonna be blaming black men. It ain't black men. It's what y'all perceive what successful black men are. Y'all only looking at money. Y'all only looking at money, and that's the truth. I know we need money. We all need it. But if you ain't finding a man who honestly serving the Lord first, go ahead and have fun with your money. That's only gonna last for a little while.
Right.
We coming around the end. You don't need somebody to help you get into that kingdom. So you better find you a good old man who know the word first and foremost.
And
I'm done.
And Levy can't be. Hey, brother Elbert, I think he was next because I had cut you off.
I can wait. I see you a little bit. Had his hands up for a minute, brother.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Thank you. Go ahead, brother.
This one thing about it. Dang, I wish the sisters was on there. They think. I think she think we talking down. I think they really think we talking down, brother Elijah. We trying to. We're talking with you. We're trying to. They when they hear this talk on here, you know what I'm saying? Like my brother said, it means we care. They like I was talking to a sister, and a sister I knew for years. She wasn't even trying to hear what the other brother was saying, but she was listening because I was quoting scriptures and I was telling her, and the fact that she even asking questions and she don't believe in God, she say so, whatever. But the fact that she even asking questions because how I carry myself, I said, she was asking questions and whatnot, but I didn't get a chance to tell her that in the state that she in, a man that fears God, that's the man that you need to be looking for. One that fears God, that knows His word. With the women, think we talking down on. We ain't talking down. We talking, which because we both in these curses whooping our tail. I just got another one of my 2 days ago. Another one of my good friends shot. He in the hospital. I talked to him, told him, be strong. I sent him a few videos, scriptures. Man, right now, you right, brother Elijah. I can't say it better. I'm just gonna be quiet, but it's civil war. If it ain't the brothers killing brothers, the women treating the brothers like crap, the brothers treating the women like nothing, man, without our God and without these laws, we ain't got nothing. That's bottom line.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother. You, my condolences to your friend. Hopefully
he's still alive, but
okay.
He made the Lord kept him in the land of living. He can't feel his legs, but just pray for him. Named Tavon, man. God, pray for the brother. He just coming down here visiting. Stepped out in the back, used the bathroom. Working man. I mean, of course, he don't keep the law, statute, commandment. I'll be working on that with him, but he just stepped out, used the bathroom. Young cats come up, give me your money. That's all it takes.
Robbery. This was robbery.
They ain't even getting that. He's smart. I told him years ago, stop flashing all his money and this and that. He listened. He keep it on a card now. But that's what they known him for doing. He thought he had money, and I guess he must have tried to run, and they shot him. Like I say, it just grieves me, man. It's chaotic up here right now, man. Every week somebody getting shot.
That's all over. That's all over the nation. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to read this real quick. It's in Colossians 1:9. It said, for this cause, we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding. So when I pray for people, that's why I would say that's why I pray for, that they would come into the knowledge of the truth. Because like I say, it's no good to get healed and then, you know, go right back to doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that, brother. Brother Isaiah, you got your hand up, brother. Brother Isaiah, still there?
Be at work.
He might be.
Well, brother, one of the things I keep noticing is when we were pointing out things, and this seems to be a defense mechanism with most people who don't want to accept what they're doing is wrong. And this isn't just women, but this goes for most people I talk to. They always use the what about him or her or them, what they're doing. When the challenge in this world is for you to correct your own behavior. The challenge within this book is to be accountable and adjust your own behavior and not worry about what the other person's doing. So when you hear something, you should weigh it and see if it applies to you. And if it does, don't point out what the other man is doing wrong. You have to justify what you're doing to make sure it's right. But too often, even when I used to talk to my children, they would go, well, so-and-so's mom let them do it. You know, as if that's a defense. So when a minister tells a brother what he doing wrong, I don't go, well, the woman are raggedy too. My argument is supposed to be with myself. And that what the Bible says, save yourself from this untoward, I see, I'm gonna mess up something now, man. Untoward generation.
You got it.
All right. Yeah, I hate doing that without that book open, brother, because I tie a lot of these things together, and you know, that's why I keep checking with you, because I'll make up my own definition and get in trouble sometimes. But anyway, the point behind that is because my sister's doing something wrong, that doesn't justify what I'm doing. And when I constantly blame somebody else for my mistakes, I'm basically saying I don't have any power over my own life. I'm blaming my failures on them. Like I told you, I had that child out of wedlock. I took blame for that. So I knew not to do that again. I didn't say she tricked me. She didn't. I didn't say the courts did, because the courts was doing that to brothers long before I went. I jumped into that mess head first. Eyes wide open. So there ain't no sense in me crying about it. And my biggest regret is, like I said, I didn't get to raise my child myself. The courts didn't care. The courts didn't care. All right. Whataboutism is not a defense for what you're doing wrong.
Yeah. And that's a good point. That's funny. I'm just gonna say some real quick. It's funny you say that, brother. When I was talking to this one young man, that's what they say. Hey man, you older, Mr. Archer, you just said you did all this. I said it's just by the grace of God that I'm still alive today. That who says that you're gonna live to see my age, brother?
Right.
They always say that because I'm a little bit older than them. I said it's by the grace of God that the Lord did kill. I did way more than enough for the Lord to kill me.
Right.
But it's just by the grace of God that I'm able to see the age that I am at and praying that I can see this thing to the end. But it ain't up to me. But yeah, that you got a good point, brother. Ad. Good point.
I just want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
What I noticed, right, is that with this feminine agenda, I see it's being propped up also by the gay agenda. The gays are always protecting these ladies, these gay brothers. And a couple of the rooms I went in, they always join in and supporting the ladies against the brothers, the real brothers. And it's troubling because, a lot of men supporting this, and it's hard to see that I've never seen the Indian, I've never seen the Chinese, I've never seen the white folks actually come out and beat up on their brothers and spit and kick their brothers like that. And last night was not the first room. There's tons of rooms like that. Almost every night running that kind of stuff.
I couldn't believe it when I saw it, man. I mean, I believed, I knew it was happening, but there was so many sisters in that room.
Yeah, that was like 500 deep and
almost all women.
Sisters.
Yeah.
So as you said last week, we lost the war, man. Where are we? What we had to do? We don't have land. We don't have rights. What we have? We don't have a woman. What is it we have?
You don't have your woman. You're right about that. You are right about that. You do not. This is not your woman, and that's unfortunate to say, because the reality is this whole notion. Because even like, you know, you had this, like, they'll say black men, they're gonna marry outside. They love white women and all this.
They was pushed out. Yeah.
But the reality is, when you look at when they do get married, they obviously predominantly marry black women. And that's just reality. Most people marry in a particular ethnic group. That's just what it is. And black men want black women. But I don't believe, and I'm saying black women, this is in general, I'm not saying every, obviously. It's nothing that they're doing to me is showing me that they care what you want. They do not care what you want, from the appearance to the attitude to a lot of different things. So I'm saying that, not expecting them to change, as I was saying earlier, we actually have to adjust what we're doing and our mentality, or our approach rather, to what's going on.
Yeah.
Things are out of control.
Because it's today, one of the rooms I was in there with Austin, and they were complaining about equal pay, right? And then last night, this woman hold this guy Tyler, and she was saying, I make 5 times you make. So I was like, what is this? Why is it about money?
Right. Well, because again, provision. See, when I talk about biology, we're set up to where the man will provide. You know, as in earlier times, we're more agriculturally based, hunting, different things like that. A lot of warfare that require land and other resources. We were the ones who provided those provisions. So now what's happening now, when women have been allowed to be in the workforce, and now even to the point where they are more likely to, in a lot of places, hire a woman. That's why she said she don't need you. And even if she's not in the position, let's say she's not into it, she can still go to, like I say, her father/husband, the government or the state, and get what she wants. She can get housing. She can get provisions for her children. The things that normally you would be getting from a man and you would need from a man, and that would keep you in check. She don't need that from you. So now it's a point, oh, you can't tell me anything. That, my friends, is totally contrary to what's supposed to be going on. Because again, the order, man, woman, and child, that's the order. You got the father, son, man, woman, child. That is the order. So what she's saying, and she's basically said, well, I'm in a position of a man now. I don't need you. So if I don't need you, I don't need to listen to you. I don't actually need to be worried about what you're saying or what you're doing. That has put everything out of balance. Everything is out of balance now.
Yes.
And when you go against the balance of what the Lord set up, eventually it leads to significant problems, which is what we're starting to see. Go ahead, brother. Yes.
No, I was going to comment. I looked down here in the chat, and there's a sister that actually asked a fair question. She was asking, we talking about women in the world versus women that are truly in the faith. We can address that in 1 second. Let me say something else about, thank you for bringing that up.
Also, just a side note, the brother mentioned the gender gap. That does not exist. There is no wage gap. That's been debunked decades ago. When you look at it in an aggregate way, when you put in for time, for hours, willingness to move, what kind of job you're doing, there's no wage gap. And in certain sectors, women are making more money. So it's not, that doesn't exist. I know, I'm just saying in case somebody, because that's something you want to put politically, Democrats will put that out. That, hey, we're going to take care of this gender gap. There is no wage gap.
I can give you two quick examples on that. Google did research, thought they were paying the women more. They came back,
they were paying the men more.
They turned out they were paying women more.
Right.
And the USA women's soccer team took the court saying they were getting underpaid. They came in with the earnings that the women were making, and the judge threw it out because they were making more money than the men.
And let me say something about this. I just heard this recently. I hadn't heard her say this recently. I just saw a clip of this today. It was actually Ronda Rousey. They asked her a question about equal pay. And she said, well, at that time, this is before she got beat. She was saying, well, I'm the highest paid player highest paid fighter in the UFC at this moment, not because I'm a woman, because I'm bringing in more money. You need to get paid according to how much money you bring in.
Right.
Nobody's watching the WNBA like that.
Nobody.
That's a farce. The idea that they should be paid the same as men. Now, if they out there dunking, like, they're not even putting the same product on the court.
Right.
Women don't even watch WNBA.
Right.
So if you playing at the same level as LeBron and those men, then yeah, you need to get paid the same. If you bring in the same amount of viewership, but that's not the case. Right. Nobody on here can name me 10 WNBA players. Exactly. Name me 10 NBA players. NBA. You got LeBron, you got KD, you got Giannis, you got Dame Lillard, you got who else?
Westbrook.
Harden.
You got Harden. You got Kyrie.
Steph.
You got Steph. You got Clay. You got Draymond. Who else you got? You got AD.
Active players.
You got Carmelo, huh?
You named active players. Name 10 retired.
Name 10 retired players.
Lisa Leslie.
I was name 10 in the history of the WNBA.
Lisa Leslie. So
I know Lisa Leslie. Those are the two I know. I might be able to name a couple more, but not
Diana Taurasi or something funny like that.
I never heard of her.
I probably made that up. My bad.
I think you put somebody named
Sue Bird, remember her?
There you go.
Sue Bird, yeah. And
I don't know the famous, some of the ones that's been around for a minute.
Yeah, I knew Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, and it was a light-skinned sister. She was short.
She a coach now, right?
I don't know, but this is not me saying women can't play now. They can play basketball, clearly. But not exciting. Not to the same level. That's just reality. Everything crazy. Now you got men running with women and men and women weightlifting. Talking about, I can't believe I won. Well, you a man. You were supposed to win. Them women was looking at, they looked like they was some, I don't know if they was some more, I don't know what they looked like, maybe, I don't know, Polynesian, I don't know where they was from, but they were looking at him like, this, he like, oh, won. Yeah, you're supposed to win. You competing against women. Yeah, everything crazy.
Yeah.
My fault. Who was saying something before we went off on
I
that?
got a question for you.
Wait. This brother said, Elba brought up something. My fault.
No, I was reading this a young sister's question, or a sister's question. I thought it was a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read it for, let me see if I can get this back up here. All right. Let me see what you got. She said, I feel when y'all say we, y'all are talking about Israelite men in the faith. And when y'all say women, you are talking about worldly women. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Sorry.
I agree. Yeah. I'm talking about worldly women. She's right. We might be, because when we're talking about good men, we're talking about men generally in the faith.
I heard Israelite women beat us too. That was the other Monday night.
What'd you say?
Monday night, I heard Israelite women beat us up too.
Yeah,
In the truth.
I'm listen. This is when I say they're at war. I'm saying men and women, black men and women, in the word, out of the word, at war.
In the word and out of the word.
In the word and out of the word. Does that mean every sister that's in the word and every brother? No, but I see it in the word too. I see it because that's how much that permeates. If you don't believe me, just for example, look at all the sisters that's so-called in the word trying to teach.
That's the truth. That's the truth.
Look at the sisters. Now you got a men's forum, you talking. You got one talking. You got to put out the thing, out the chat. Because that mentality is there.
They can't leave it behind.
Because it's not as if they are not living in this society.
Yeah.
You got a lot. See, you gotta just be playing with you. Got a whole lot of women claiming Proverbs 31 and being virtuous, and they don't know what that is. Everybody claim just because you say you believe it don't mean that's actually what you are. That's an exceptional system. So no, I don't. Yeah, it's straight up war going on.
Okay.
In the word and out of the word. Is that everybody? No. But it's a problem with us as a people in general, even amongst us that believe in these in various groups. You can see it. You can see it.
You know what the thing is for me? I don't know any sisters in the word personally. You know what I mean? So all I encounter is worldly people. So, and that's just my surroundings, you know. So for my reality is I'm looking directly at what's the issue amongst the worldly women and, you know, our situation as a whole as Black people. And you guys are the only men as well as I know in the that's in the faith. So my reality is kind of small when it comes down to how can we fix this worldwide issue when you can't even stick your arm out and grab somebody who's in the faith. You know what I mean? Like it's across the internet. This is a bad situation.
Yeah. Just to put it in perspective, when you think about, just give an example of how like we oftentimes, this kind of goes into what Brother Elba was talking about when we look at the world and you look at others, you don't want to look at yourself because this book is telling you to transform yourself. This book is all about self-transformation through the word. But when you look at it, notice that even Jesus, he's talking to scribes, Pharisees, Sadducees, calling them hypocrites. He's talking to his own people that had Torah, that had Mitzvah, they had the law, statutes, and commandments. He's talking to his own people. We tend to look at what he was talking to and act as if the scribes, Pharisees, Sadducees, and his own people were Sunday Christians. No. He was talking to his own people that claimed to be Israel, that claimed to know the law. He's talking to his own people. See, we even, that's what I'm saying. And that's one thing that I am proud of, that the approach that my father and I take when it comes to the word, it ain't necessary. We will talk about the paganism in order to show people that, listen, this is what you're into. But after that, it's about your self-transformation. It's about you building your character. See, we don't, these people, we will show that. Because that's in the book too. That woman with that cup, how she's made the nations drunk. Yeah, we show that. It's a fundamental principle. Come out of Babylon, come out of the false worship. But when you come out, you're not to come out and keep talking about them. Yeah, look at them people, they in that false worship. No, you come out and, like the brother was saying, you have to basically transform yourself, transform your own character. And that takes work, that takes time, that takes courage, and people do not want to do that. It's much easier to look at them. It's way easier to look at them. But so when it said who y'all talking about, I'm talking about us collectively, even in the word. And I see it from people that I've known. You see it on people that you know that on social media. I've seen craziness amongst believers, men and women married, on Facebook, having an all drag out fight on Facebook. I've seen that on several occasions.
Yeah.
I can't count the many sisters I've seen that they say they virtuous women, but you ain't dressed like no virtuous woman.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Lord. You don't look like you do.
Can we get Proverbs 31, teacher?
You want to hear it?
Like to here it go? Is that what you about to say? Proverbs 31. Because that's strong line. Everybody's saying it. Everybody got the t-shirt on. This is not, first of all, Proverbs. Now let me say this. Solomon would know something about women. For whatever people want to say about Solomon, one thing he knew about was women. And he said in Proverbs 31:10, he said, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above ruby. So the first thing is, who can find one? It ain't like they everywhere. Just because you say you're a believing woman don't mean you're a virtuous woman. This is an exceptional woman. Then it says something. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. So right off the bat, it's telling you about her character. It says she's virtuous and she's valuable, but valuable to who? Who's she valuable to?
Her husband.
Her husband.
Her husband. So just going back to what Brother Elbert, we was listening to the sister. We was in that chat. It was just me and Elbert. She started talking about a virtual one, but she not gonna be valuable to her husband. She think it's all about her. If you read about this woman, it was all about her family. It said the heart of her husband does safely trust in her, so that she have no need of spoil. Then it says she will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Not run him down and so he go into an early grave. Not so where he got to go and fight the world. They got to come home and lace him up again, proverbially speaking, figuratively speaking. Fight his wife, box his wife. We know we don't get down with that. I'm just saying, you got to go, you fight the world, and then you got a whole another battle when you come home. The Bible talk about a contentious woman.
Mm-hmm.
See, we can't act like it's not contentious women in the word. Just like it's brothers in the word, that man, you might well call them infidels. You might as well. I said, man, I had to tell a brother. I said, brother. I said, man, he told me a situation where he didn't have his key. He basically didn't do nothing for a child, knew it was his child, didn't do nothing for 18 years. I said, brother, that's not right. I said, that's your child. you need to help that child, provide for that child, and all the mistakes that you made in the past. You need to be accountable, brother. Oh, I ain't gonna do. What you mean? So what you believing in?
Right.
I done see people. People in the world putting guns on people, all kind of stuff. Same stuff that go on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I done see people fight. Yeah, so yeah, we can't act like we all need to do better. But one thing we can't have the woman say, who are you talking about? I'm talking about you. Who you talking about? You? That's what I'm talking about. It ain't like, yeah, you must talk about, you ain't talking about no sisters in the word. Now, when I say you, I ain't saying you specifically, sister, I don't know you, but I am talking about women in the word. Just like brothers in the word need to get right.
Right.
But we can't be like, yeah, when it comes to you, can't be like, oh no, look at them. No, look at you. Man, this word cut me too. Mm-hmm. It's stuff in this word. Sometimes I just gotta just, hey, I gotta be quiet. Cause I'm cool, you know, I'm very laid back. But then when it's times I get angry and it'll be furniture moving. I've had those times in my life where it's been like, man, just snapped off. So so that's not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
But so you know, sometimes you gotta be quiet. So it said, she was doing good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. So number one, she's not lazy. So we started talking about character. So she's a virtuous woman. When you're talking about virtue, see, here another thing, brother. And again, this is some strong coffee. It is what it is. When you're talking about virtue, you're talking about a woman of upright moral character. And part of your virtue is sexual virtue. See, you're not running through all these men. You know how many stories I've heard of women, or seen how many women in the world end up pregnant, no husband? So what you in?
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't running through all these men and then talking about you virtuous. That don't go together. And the brothers can't walk around. You defiling all these women. I done seen that too. When the brother say, yeah, that's my wife. And I understand. You don't need a marriage license per se to be married to a woman.
Right.
But what they'll do, yeah, we married. And then next thing you know, he lay with now he don't want nothing to do with it. Well, what was you trying to do in the first place? You could have did that foolishness that you're doing right now. You could have did that in the street. But now you gonna claim the God of Israel, that's the one you following, and then you gonna do that? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you can't, who you talking to? You? Oh, I know you ain't talking to me. Yeah, talking to you. So it says she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships and bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. So now we still talking about character. We know she's a virtuous woman. We know she's worried about her husband. He can trust. So if he can trust in her, that means she's what?
Virtuous.
Trustworthy.
She trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
So then it says she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. So she's not what?
Lazy.
She's not lazy. It says she is like the merchant. She rises early while it is yet night and giving meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. So you got to think about it. She up when everybody sleep. And then it says she's worried about others, not herself. So she's selfless. This is an exceptional person. Now the word can bring this out of you. That's the fruits of the spirit. But it ain't just that you got that automatically.
Right.
More than likely you ain't about nothing. Like most people ended up themselves before they get the word. You see what I'm saying? You got to, so the word, like even my own life, the word helps you build your character. That's what it should be doing. It ain't for you to go into some debate. That ain't what that's not ultimately what the word is for, in the sense of, yes, you use it to put down false doctrine, but yeah, I got this. I learned this, so I go over here and beat up these people who don't know anything. But if you had character, true righteous character, you'd be concerned about those people. And looking at the word, say, hey, this is what the word did for me. This is the gospel. You see what I'm saying? But that ain't so. This is character. She considered the field and buyeth it with the fruit of her hand. She planted the vineyard. She girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms. So this is a strong woman. But look at the character now. She perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She's steady working. She laid her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. So she's concerned about others, and she in her household, like her maidens. Now, who are her maidens?
Children?
Her kids.
It could be her female servants.
That's what I was going to think of.
It could, and that's nothing. These could be female servants that are wives to her husband. See, that's what I'm saying. The mentality, even to consider that. The woman, I know for a fact, the woman, well, let me say, I can assume for a fact, the woman that was saying that stuff in the chat, because how she cherry picked and misinterpreted this, that never came into her mind. Why? Because she said if she do have a husband, she would say that's my husband.
Alone.
As if that's her possession. When no, you are his possession. See, we got this thing backwards. You are his possession. Literally. You belong to him. She gonna get married, I hyphenate her name. I got a relative like that. She got married. Okay, she got married twice. She got divorced. The first time she kept the first man's last name and then hyphenated her husband, not his name. I said, so wait a minute. I was young. I was a teenager when I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. You hyphenated. I wasn't in the word. I was like, wait a minute. You hyphenated your husband, now his name, to your past husband? Really?
Yeah,
but yeah, that whole idea, she ain't even think about that, because it's all about you. See, brothers and men in general have become sheer commodities. You a stepping stone husband. You basically there for what I want. But that's not what he made you for. He made you as a helpmeet for your husband. He didn't make your husband to be your. I've even heard women say, thank God he gave me a helpmeet like the husband I got. That is not a helpmeet. You are the helpmeet. A help fit for him. Then it says, so she stretches out her hand to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household. For all her household are clothed with scarlet. Because all the workers she's doing, they benefit. She's about her household. She's about her household. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. That's like the one I saw, like the one brother Isaiah. I couldn't listen more than 5 minutes. The title was Where is Boaz or something like that. Why you ain't found Boaz? You ain't found Boaz because you ain't Ruth.
Mm.
That's why you ain't found Boaz, because you ain't Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Look at her mindset. Your people gonna be my people. Your God gonna be my God. Submitted herself unto the man. Was loyal and faithful in everything that she did. They even said, we heard about you. She could have went. See, brother, man, y'all don't really understand. When I say y'all, I'm talking about people. When you look at what the first sister-in-law, her sister-in-law did, when it came down to it, and Naomi said, I ain't got no more husbands, I ain't got no more sons, and if I did, I'm old, I ain't gonna have no more children. If I did have some, what you gonna wait and let them grow up? You gonna wait for them? How long you gonna wait? Go back up to your land. What the Lord do? You know what she did, right? She kissed her and then went on. Why? Because at the end of the day, it was about, hey, at the end of the day, I gotta get me something. Ruth was so faithful that she went with her mother-in-law, not knowing that it was a Boaz that she could have.
Right.
She stayed with her despite what she could have. Why? Because women by nature are hypergamous. An exceptional man goes against his very nature. So it is with a woman. See, that's why I say people don't really understand. Talking about Boaz. You read a story in the word and you think everything apply to you and what you're doing. You got 2 illegitimate children talking about where Boaz. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. And it says she openeth her mouth with wisdom. See, it's not food. See, just because you went to school, you graduated magna cum laude. You got a degree in gender studies. You got a degree in sociology. You got a degree in psychology. You got all these degrees and no wisdom. I'm going to say it again. You got all these degrees and no wisdom.
No man.
Because if you had wisdom, what could you do?
Have a man.
You say have a man. Well, let me read it to you. We'll hold our finger here and go to Proverbs 14:1. It said, every wise woman do what? Building her house.
Yeah.
But the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. See, a woman will destroy, and then when it say her house, it's talking about the household that she's a part of. See, when Joshua, because it's really the man's household. As Joshua said, me and my household, we will serve the Lord. But the wrong kind of woman would tear down everything you're trying to build.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said that, brother. Also, I said, you better make sure you choose the right one. Because it don't matter what you do. It don't matter your potential. It don't matter your drive. It don't matter your intelligence. It don't matter your intent. You can have a wrong woman and she will say, uh-huh. And like Jenga, she will drop kick all them blocks. Everything will fall. Everything will fall. And you'll be sitting there at a stage in your life where it took you 20, 25 years to build something. And now you got to try to rebuild it on half an income because you're paying alimony to a contentious woman who's trying to see you miserable. So, yeah, so every woman in the word even is not a virtuous woman. I'm saying most women in the word are not virtuous women. That's not their character. This is a rarity. So it said, she opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. So again, she's concerned about her household, and she's not lazy. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her because they know she is an asset. Mm-hmm. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Then it says something, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. So here's the thing, one thing about it, you want to keep talking. Look at the sisters in the word. The sisters in the word taking pictures every 5 seconds. they dressing inappropriately. They, no matter what the Bible talk about character and modesty, they concern, a lot of concern, hey, they just like the world. Just like the world. So it said, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but the woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. It said, give her of the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates. Not her beauty. Because that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You can be beautiful. Hey, that's great. I'll be honest, brother. That don't move me. That's good. Don't get me wrong. That's a good thing. You want an attractive woman, that's good. And you want me to take care of yourself. And it's a way to look nice and presentable and attractive without dressing immodestly. Right. It's a way to do that without caking all that stuff on. And I'm not, this is just some things I've seen in general. I've seen some women, they put that contour with the contour in their face. I saw an Asian woman, she put makeup on her face and she looked like Johnny Depp. She did it one time, she looked like Albert Einstein. She did another time, she looked like Mona Lisa. She could do that. I've seen women, I said, man, that is fraud. I've seen some, you see the before and after picture, you like, whoa.
Yes.
Why are you putting all that on your face? So you put all that on your face, put on a helmet, there's a weave, and then put a chin strap, and then you walk out. Look, hold on, man. Hold on.
Yes. Yeah.
Come on. Let's get it together.
Yeah.
Let's get it together. But it's about your character. So who I'm talking about? I'm talking to us.
All of us.
Who I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And that's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't a time to be comfortable though.
Right.
It really isn't.
Mm.
And that's the problem. We don't understand. We don't understand.
Yeah. Because the goal of this, I thought, was to try to salvage, to see if it's possible to salvage people who are, like you said, at war with each other. And honestly, I did not know it was this bad.
Right.
Until because y'all used to talk about it before, and I'm like, man, what are y'all talking? I don't have any of these problems. Of course, I have been detached from the general world for a while. You know, I've been stuck in here with my wife and just my little inner circle. And as soon as I clicked on some of them sites, I was blown away by it.
Yeah, I have to say I had known about it because I know it's even a sector on YouTube that talks about black men ain't nothing, and they don't want black men. These not women in the word. These just women talking. I know that exists.
Yeah.
They say that, but and a lot of people frequent those pages. But when I saw live hundreds of women in this clubhouse chat,
Yeah.
basically like listening to this, I'm like, huh.
Brother, what scares me is I think, how did people forget the black man's or the struggle that we've gone through? And it seems like it's being totally dismissed. Because if you had a choice, you ran a business, and you got me to pick or this woman, they ain't gonna pick me. Because I'm not gonna do the little giggle when somebody says something that's offensive. Because more than one time I have been considered they said I was hostile. I was angry. Because I said, you're not gonna talk to me any way you want. Even the job that I retired from. Before I showed up at a few places, they would say, Cates ain't gonna play that. So my point in that is, as I hear women fussing about how they're getting treated on their job, and it's fair enough, because there's a couple of times I had to tell my wife and daughter how to respond to situations. They will take liberties with women that they won't take with a strong man. So that's one of the things if they can't see Well, I get the police called on me in my driveway in a home I've been living in for
Twice.
16 years.
Twice.
They have no idea what a real man's struggle is going through. Because ain't nothing cute about me. I ain't petite. I don't just fit in. So when I hear people saying these things, I say, I don't think they really understand how many times I got pulled over just because I had a race car, as a young man. And then when they found out it was mine, they said, well, where do you work? And I would tell them, but it was offensive. But I said, somehow they forgot all the mess that I had to go through on a daily basis. At times one time I had to leave my job and come home and hold my babies so I wouldn't stomp a dude's head in. That's how bad it is out there well, that's how some of the rough times I had. Like right now, it's like, is it worth it? Because this is strenuous trying to talk to people or nerve-wracking, trying to see if you can heal a nation. If we can come to some kind of conclusion and realize that the forces that are tearing us apart didn't come from within. We're buying into something that has been fed to us. That's why I said it's not organic. We were united, and all the data that I've heard you repeat over the years confirms it. When you said we had a higher marriage rate at one time.
Out of slavery.
Yes, and you said we had the family stuck together. But anyway,
90 plus, approximately 90% of our children were born in wedlock out of slavery. Now 77%, roughly 77% of our children, almost 80%, are born outside of wedlock.
Right. So how did this divide? Who planted this divide? That's what I'm asking people. Like when you keep saying come out, take the blinders off and see what is causing this destruction amongst us. Is it just rebellion amongst us? Which I don't believe, because I believe that people plant these seeds. Like I watched how hip hop turned. When I was coming up, hip hop empowered me. Yeah, by that I'm saying I listened to Public Enemy and X-Clan, groups like that. And there was unity starting to form. Then they brought in NWA to get rid of them. And then that's when the gangbang culture then rolled back up. So
I don't think that some of them consider like the plight that that Black men have gone through, because I've seen some of them warp history in a way that fits their narrative. Like I've been in different classes and I've heard we'll be watching something, and I never thought that they would like say it in the way in which they did, but we'll be watching something about Black history and they'll warp it in a way that's like that almost makes it seem as if the Black women during slavery were going through worse times as the Black men. And so when you're dealing with stuff like that, I think that either that further compounds the confusion, because they'll just warp history in a way that's not accurate,
Right.
But yeah, that's why I think that they don't really consider that.
You're right. Because they're not a threat. A woman is she's not a physical threat. Yeah. She's not even like I said, I'd be at work and dude would say something inappropriate and the sister would go, he. And I would look at her and say, you don't let them, because I said, you let that mess start, it's going to continue and grow. I said, you nip it in the butt. And with the other thing I had right before I left, there was a brother. He's about 40 years old. He said, Case, you can't leave me here with these dudes. And I said, man, you 40 years old. Speak up. Say something. But he didn't want to appear confrontation. So there's a reason why there's one group being put over top of another.
And I also think that the men who don't like have any integrity, and those that like try to just agree with women, they further compound the issue too. Like them guys that was in the chat is tripping.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were doing that as it, like I said, like they trying to date those. Those sisters don't respect you.
Yeah, exactly.
They respect you more just off GP of you not, you basically going against what they saying.
Right.
Even if they don't agree, they don't respect you. You're kowtowing to these women that don't respect you.
Right.
What they don't respect men, what you think they think about you?
Right.
You trying to basically co-sign whatever they say.
Right. Yeah,
Some women talk about something and then a homosexual man will be, yeah, that's right, girl. What?
He did.
These black men ain't nothing. He a black man talking about these black men ain't nothing. I said,
and then he went to go holler at the white dudes on his way out. He was like, I don't like these black Negroes either. It's a sad world we live in, man.
Yeah, man.
Look, the women think it's funny, and then they're looking crazy because you got these feminine men running around taking all y'all jobs, doing hair and getting famous off of it. Something that you're supposed to be doing. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, everything is butt backwards in this world.
I'm gonna read something here from just talking about what Brother El was talking about. I happen to be reading this book, revisiting this book. Now, this is a controversial book. This Sherazad Ali book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. I know it's a controversial book from back in the day, but it says something. She said in chapter 13, she said, if working outside the home in the fields of child rearing, taking care of her husband and attending the house, the Black woman should only work part-time or quit the job altogether. Yes, it is a sacrifice, but it is a major way to put the Black man back in the spot of the head of the house and breadwinner. The Black man should assess the situation, decide how he wants to live and whether or not her financial contribution is worth he and the children giving up what they need from the wife and mother in his home. Mm-hmm. If he approves of her working, then he should cooperate with her in maintaining the home and taking care of the children. It doesn't have to be 50-50, but he should help. So she was just talking about in this same chapter what you were talking about, how to handle yourself, because she was talking about the stuff that women go through on the job. Mm-hmm. And even now she did mention like her mindset about being in the job, but then talked about how, like you said, they're coming at women sometimes in a different way. Right. You know, and sometimes in a sexual way. Yeah. Okay. And so she was saying, I'm trying to find it now, she was saying that you should not, under no circumstances, tolerate that. She was just talking about the mentality, man.
No, what you saying is right. And I'm gonna just back that up. My daughter, my eldest daughter, she was working at a furniture store, and the dude cheated her out of commission. And when she went to see him about it, she said he stood up over her and started screaming. So she came and called Pops. Mm-hmm. So Pops went up there and he had to look another man dead in his eye. So he wanted to go in the office to talk, and she said, come with me. I went in there with him. And you know, he was respectful. That's what I'm talking about. Our women are going out here in this workplace without any protection at all. And a lot of them don't have no dad that when you call gonna come flying up into their aid. But anyway, he agreed to give her commission on it. But if she ain't have it, so that's what I'm telling brothers going to be men. I didn't go in there scream and holler or none of that. I just looked at him. You ain't gonna talk to my daughter like that. You know, she has a father. But you're gonna cheat her out of her money. You ain't gonna stand up over her and scream, because he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that to a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, she was talking about how certain things go on, you be scared you're gonna lose your job. Then she talked about how you doing all this, you real tough on the job. You got the opposite too. You got it where you real tough on the job, right? And then you come home with that same mentality. So now you go tell your husband what to do. She was just, I know it's very controversial what she was saying, but that whole idea about black men and black women, like, oh yeah, black men, y'all just gonna be over here, black women gonna be all right. That's not what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what's about to happen. And even if, I'm gonna read this what this sister said in the chat. She said, if I can find it again, hold on. She said, most sisters in the world know that they need our husbands and brothers, but when you said y'all can continue the nation without us, it did something to my spirit and made me look at myself more. So thanks for this, brother. Yeah, my thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, what'd you say, brother?
No, I chuckled and then I realized that wasn't right. I said, I apologize. I said, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Well, my thing is this. That is potentially, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but that's the potential that men have. 30 men could repopulate. If everybody gone, you take 30 men, all the men gonna take 30 men, and they'll repopulate the earth. Regardless, life is in the man. So that's the potential that men have. But I'm not saying these things for my hatred. I don't hate women.
Mm-mm.
But I hate the situation we're in. Because I understand we need each other. For all that division that we have now, we sure came on them boats together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And from that time, everything's been done to try to divide us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I have a problem. I have a problem with that because I know that the end result of that is not good. It's not like you're gonna be okay. You don't see that.
Right.
I'm not saying we're gonna go extinct. We know what the Bible says. But when you look at people that are extinct, it ain't like all the women survived and the men didn't. No, the people went extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Those original people in Tasmania, they are gone. No more. It ain't like, oh, the Tasmanian women, they made it. They didn't have that go. You look at the Arawak out in the Hispaniola when Columbus came, they all gone. They don't all the women made it. That is not how that works. That's not how that works. Yeah, brother. It was disheartening to see that. All them sisters in that chat.
It's like you said, teacher. Some of them just they end up. A lot of our people just gonna die. It's just as sad as it just is what it is.
Yeah, I think it was disheartening to say that. I say that. I think not the fact that they were expressing it openly. I think that sentiment has been there, unspoken. Because it's resonating with them. Because if it wasn't there, if that didn't resonate with them, they're not there for shock value. We was there like, can you believe this? We texting each other, man, you hear this? they listening like, uh-huh.
I pray not, man. That's sad, man. Yeah.
And they're looking in a delusional way as if, oh, all I got to do is go to this race of men and I'm going to be all right. I don't see that working. I don't see that working.
Well,
I don't see that working. The men, brother, men are always a threat. What Dr. Creswell saying,
right.
Muscle mass is what wins wars. You are the threat. Women are spoiled of war. Men are the threat. That's right. Why war waged on men.
Right.
Black men, you are men. Any man is a threat.
Right. Well,
men and other men understand.
I told you they busted up my right after I left the station. They chased all the alphas out. They wiping out they don't want any more of that so-called toxic. But the men that they call toxic are the ones that's running in the buildings and doing all that madness. While the ones that ain't, they looking to get a desk job. We have people get hired for that to get a desk job. It's hilarious. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, brother. That we talked about it before, but that what they call them toxic, that built what we talking. That built society.
Yeah.
You ever been lifting something? You said, man, come on. It's a job for two people. You just say, like, you said, I'm about to lift this.
Yeah.
You get mad, you get angry. You gotta have a certain mentality to run into the building. That's just like them sisters. They was actually into some Europeans just saying they was in Detroit. That man started shooting.
They took off.
They took off. They almost hit the car running away.
Yeah.
They cops. They said,
Right.
they got up out of there.
So
It take a certain type of mentality to see somebody shooting and then be able to act.
and get involved, right? But anyway, you know, I heard the one lady explain toxic masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
She said part of it was men trying to tell women what to do. So when I heard that, I'm saying women aren't interested in hearing what men say is attractive or what they like in a woman. So if you were to critique the woman and say, hey, could you change this? Could you do this? Could you tone this down? They consider that toxic. When I'm telling somebody what men are attracted to, I got to hear somebody else say, well, they supposed to love me how I am right now. Or I don't see it that way. And I'm telling you as a man what the other men that I talk to desire in a mate. But you say, I'm going to do it how I want.
The last shift here, guys.
What you say, bro?
That's Isaiah. I'm not sure what he's doing.
Yeah, he thought he thought you had blanked off, I believe. And
So
like
I-
I thought you did.
Oh, you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, it's hot mic.
Sorry.
I blinked out.
Not on my end, maybe on the other brother's end. I don't know.
That was me. Sorry, I apologize for that.
Oh, all right. But that's when I heard that explanation, I said, there you go. They made up a term to destroy masculine men. So
Yeah, it's about the acquisition of power. Feminism is about the acquisition of power. It ain't about equality.
right.
But that whole idea, that don't nope. You basically men have a short list of what they want. If you talk to a godly man, what thing he gonna talk? He gonna say godly woman. Basically, that's probably the first thing on his list.
Right.
He gonna talk about a certain mentality. And if she attractive, that's a you know what I'm saying? That's not number one usually.
Right.
You know, even men that you talk to men, they list ain't long.
Mm-hmm.
But you talking about what you don't want. You ever seen these lists of these some of these women that are single? They got 60,000 things. He got to be this tall. He got to have this skin complexion. He can't have it. He got to have this kind of job.
6 foot tall with a six pack with 6 figures.
Right. Got to.
Yeah, don't forget the 6 figures. 6 figures, that's it.
But
He
can't get it any kind of way. He got to have it with you know.
Right.
With he can't be a plumber and get it. Now that ain't appropriate. Because if he told a girl say, what do you do for a living? Oh, he a plumber. Now he can make $150,000 a year as a plumber. But they like, no, he a plumber. Yeah.
I used to be a plumber.
Huh?
I was a plumber for a minute before I got on the fire department. I'm gonna be honest, I went and gave a talk at a middle school. And when I mentioned that I used to do plumbing, the kids giggled. And I said, that's honest work.
Not just honest work. Plumbers have saved more people than doctors.
Brother.
Through sanitation.
Right. I'm just saying that
the doctor say, take this, it kill you. The plumber say, flush this.
Right. Mm-hmm. The value system where a lady would rather date a drug dealer or a criminal because they say he has disposable income, that's short-lived money. Mm-hmm. That's short-lived money.
Yeah, the trades. That's what make. I wasn't saying it. I wasn't saying it to be like disparaging others. I'm. Hey, the trades are what keep everything going.
Right.
Right.
Men that had the trades, they built. Like I said, they ones that put that knowledge to use to build what you see.
Right. So I appreciate the trade guys because right now there's a shortage.
Yeah.
And they have class. They trying to hire brothers so bad. They'll teach them. They'll pay them to go to the class and then guarantee them a job when they get out. That's how short they are on tradesmen around here.
In Ohio?
In Central Ohio, yeah. That's why I was talking to the brother Joshua. So man, things don't work out. You better get transferred up here because the building around here is built. They building like fire. It's everywhere. So anyway.
Anything else, brothers?
I'm sorry, bro. I mean somehow this always people take it as bashing, and that is not my intent, or I believe anybody else is in this chat is bashing.
Yeah, that was tough to listen to, man. That was crazy.
Oh, yeah,
that's crazy.
But what if our women stop looking at what the other races, how they live, and stop trying to be like the Joneses and say, you know what, our men don't make as much money. Let's still back them. Let's still, as long as he provided the basic necessities, we might not have extra income to do as much as everyone else is, because I think that's what some of the media hype and what they propagated on TV to show what the successful American dream looked like. And then, dangled it in front of. Say that again, brother.
No, I'm sorry. I said a lot of white folks don't even have it either. A lot of white folks struggling.
Right. So then you got our women trying to keep up with something that's a farce and
fantasy.
Looking at your black man like, you can't provide this for me, you worthless. We're already dealing with systematic racism. We're already dealing with the curses of the land. We ain't the most favorite or educated, whatever the situation may be. I believe that there are black men, even not in the truth, trying their best, and women are just not satisfied with what they're bringing to the table, even if they are covering the basic necessities. Right. Maybe they should lower their standards a little bit. Maybe they should come down off that high horse and stop expecting that Birkin bag and them red bottoms. Deal with them kids and your fake bag, but you got what you need, Brother. So that's another thing that I see. They try and do too much. Just be happy with the little bit.
Let me ask you a question, brother.
Yes, brother.
Why would they do that?
So that they could live in comfortability with black men who can afford those things. I know they won't do it.
Yeah, I'm
but
saying
they should. They should.
You talking about what you said? Yeah, we should do a lot of things. We should stop sleeping on the street. We should do better. We should.
Look, we already know they could get on OnlyFans and do better than what most black men could do for them.
Right,
and just shake their behind.
When I talked about what I saw earlier, that was way more just disparaging than the other thing that we saw together. One of the ones got on. I can't even call her sister. She got on there. She said, you just what you talking about the basics. She said, why would I want that? She said, basically, I can do that by myself. We don't need you for nothing. That's all you can do is the basic. You basically just pathetic. And then she said, white men are going to different planets. They going into outer space. What you doing? You can't do nothing. I'm like, I said, man. So yeah, there are some people going to outer space. That's not everybody.
No, not everybody.
That's not the majority of white men. That's a few men.
That was a really hard one.
Listen, Neil deGrasse Tyson went, right? So-called, what did he?
I thought he's an astrophysicist.
No.
But it was just funny. it was just funny. I had to laugh. She was like, basically as if you gonna be up there with him and on Mars. But she was dead serious. Y'all disgusting. Y'all disgraceful. It's better for y'all in jail. Better to be dead. All that.
I watched that video that you sent us with that lawyer was talking about, and that woman, when she was explaining like the hate and stuff, she was saying that she's saying that some women get an abortion if they have like males and stuff like that. I was like, that's crazy.
That's wicked.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Too much free reign, man. Too much.
No balance.
Yeah, too much freedom.
Birth control. See, and social stigma provided balance. In other words, you have and the lack of birth control now. So you put in social stigma and no birth control, you're not gonna have all these out of wedlock births because you got social stigma associated with it. But once that was in
moved
place,
out the way,
social stigma was removed. Now you got women trying to go retroactively to say to a man that they've been with, they don't like that, trying to claim there was some type of assault. So yeah, it's a tough time. There's nothing really. This cat is not going back in the bag, as they say.
No.
So the only thing that can happen, and is if maybe is some kind of social, some serious turmoil. I think that's one of they'll always be able to find a man to do something, but I don't know if that's one of the reasons why you're starting to see the legalization of prostitution.
But they had a 60-year-old looking for a husband too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she was going in.
She was going in.
Yeah, she was 60s. Talking about, yeah, I was like, man.
It was over.
Brother, would segregation fix anything? This is crazy. I'm sad to say. Listen to what I just said.
We already segregated.
Listen to what I just said. Would segregation fix this problem?
We already segregated. The reason I say that is most Black people live in urban, what they describe as urban areas. We already have, in the school system, when they started busing,
schools are segregated.
They're segregated again.
Just as much as 1955.
Right. Neighborhoods are segregated again. It's not helping because it's almost sounding like to me that now this agenda, this is almost, can you say the L word on here? The L word agenda has leached over into the rest of our women's and has affected them. This hatred toward men came from the L word or the L group.
Oh,
well, somebody typed it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to get you in trouble anymore.
Man, I'm driving.
We can say lesbians.
Who?
Alphabet people?
Alphabet
people?
That's what I thought he was talking about. Yeah, okay. So you said it's from that movement?
I'm thinking it leached over into this because this hatred started somewhere and leached into it. It could not have started within the households that I witnessed growing up in and my buddies' moms and dads. This seems relatively new to me, especially on this scale. Now, I can be, like I said, I'm a nerd, so I may not know.
This what's you do what's expedient, you do what's beneficial or what seems to be beneficial. I take it, you give me the crumbs, I take it. There's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So what direction do you see things going in the future? Do you think it'll become worse in the sense that men will like continue to fall for these women, or like I don't. What do you all think things will be in the future?
War.
I don't want to. I'm
You
gonna
said
say.
war?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. As a masses of people are gonna stay Torah. But I think like a good brother like yourself, you're gonna find somebody. And like when I'm around Brother Elijah Brother Elijah and other brothers who've been married in the faith for a while, I'm encouraged, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why y'all like, you drove to Indianapolis? Yeah, man, I needed to see y'all. Because I'm around the mess I'm around during the rest of my struggle, it really doesn't help me. I don't think I'm going back on that app for a while with the mess I done heard, because I just felt I had to say something. Yeah. And then it didn't do any good. The brother said, oh, but if I could look at you, and I had to listen to him, because he's right.
That look you gave me when we was in nap, like,
because it wasn't helping, you know. And it didn't help. So I was in the fishbowl this time. I'm in the fishbowl. And you was outside saying, look at that dumb fish in there arguing with that other dumb fish. You see me and you was like, you got to get out, brother. So anyway.
That's going to be weird just seeing a whole bunch of single women like in the future. Just it's going to be just a strange society.
It'll be a strain on society.
Yeah.
Strange. Yeah.
You know, who's that? Who's that said that? My brother made a point. I just really thought about that. I really, in my city, I don't know no sisters that's actually in the faith besides my wife, and there's one elder that's she's like 71, and that's rare. I mean, no offense to my elder sister, but she's 71 and she's seeking. She makes sure it's in the Bible, and she called me, asked questions, and this and that. I mean, that's the only two I know in my city. I mean, I know it's some out there, but they
do you?
I ain't gonna even get into that.
Do you all see like the government putting forth initiatives for men to be forced to be with these women who are going to be by themselves?
No.
Because I seen I saw that lawyer that we was talking about. He was saying that they were trying to make it in a way for men to have to like take care of the women who've already had children and stuff, but the men could just, you know, be somebody who's in the vicinity of that woman, and then that woman can like claim that that was he played a father role figure, and then have to take care of those kids and stuff like that.
But Austin is talking about sound far-fetched. They could basically say in some instances that you were acting as a father.
Yeah,
and make you pay child support too.
And make it happen. Similar to how in Canada with a man, he took a woman he was with and took on vacation to this home. He had homes, you know, summer home, and they said, oh yeah, she basically sued him for alimony. They were not married. Mm. She basically sued. She said because basically that's established residence. I've seen laws. I forgot what state this was in, where they were trying to say if a man, just certain laws you're starting to see, if a man lies to a woman about what he has in order to have sex with her, like, oh yeah, this is my car, or I'm a doctor, so like he could be brought up on charges. I forgot what state that was in.
That's
crazy. Wow, you can't even run game anymore.
Yeah, you can't see it. So now I mean they're gonna have, because that's gonna be a strain on society. A bunch of single people are gonna be a strain on society, just like children are a strain on society. So the court don't care, like with child support, the court don't care about. The court cares about because you funding the system through the child support out the money they're taking off the top.
Right, 2%.
So yeah, it's I'm thankful I ain't never had to deal with that. But I could see that. I could see different laws. Like I said, I think prostitution or that, cause see, they're trying to decriminalize it in certain places because I think they understand, just like they used prison. It's a certain sector in society that's not gonna be in the workforce. And with that decriminalization of prostitution, I think we're gonna see that more and more because they're gonna make sure these women have something to eat.
Yeah.
Why else would you? Because it's not, because they're gonna basically, the men are gonna be criminalized.
Yeah.
You know, soliciting, but the women are not. Make sense. But I don't know, brother. It's not looking good. At the end of the day, because men are not politically or even involved. A lot of men don't know what's going on. They've been indoctrinated to the same system like everybody else.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on. They don't know. They look up and they in the situation. So I do think that it's gonna be some suffering going on for sure.
That's
It's not looking good. Nothing tells me that it's gonna turn out beautiful. Nothing. Unless y'all see something.
No.
Right.
You got one more question, brother. It seems like a fair one. Somebody put it in the chat. Brother Nicodemus said, can we talk to other women other than Israel?
Well, I know people read Deuteronomy 7 and talk about when they were going into the land, but whether I just read Ruth about, or I just mentioned Ruth and Boaz. You know, so what you want to do is be with somebody who's serving God. That's who you want to be with. And he has always had, you read in the Old Testament, he's always had people of other nations that take a hold in the Commonwealth of Israel. Yeah. And even when you look at how the nation was founded, who you think they got their wives from initially?
Outside.
Because as the brother was saying earlier, who the seed lies in the man. Mm-hmm. That's why when we look at the Egyptian genocide in the days of Moshe, hey, they said, keep the women, kill all the males, because those children will be Egyptian. Right. Same thing with the Mujahideen in Sudan, the Fur people. So I think there's a misunderstanding with that. And the issue comes in when you're dealing with women that are not of the faith. That's the issue. That is the issue. So yeah.
They need to be spiritual Israel.
Right. Because if you think about it, okay, so you got two options. This woman, she is born Israelite. She worships Satan and Baal and
Molech
and Beelzebub.
Right.
This sister is a Moabite that said, "Hey, I'm a serve the true living God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Which one should you? If you go marry one, which one should it be?" You got somebody. Well, you got to be the woman that worships Satan. No, not at all. Yeah, not at all.
Then you're gonna be in trouble with God. On top of it.
Yeah, and you know, it does say that in Deuteronomy. You read in days of Ezra and Nehemiah, but if you notice, those women were worshiping falsely. They try to apply that to everything, and it's not necessarily applicable. Like I said, the nation started with 12 men. Where do you think they got their wives from? They wives weren't Israelites.
Right.
Specifically, you look at Joseph. Ephraim and Manasseh, he got from an Egyptian woman. You know, so it's just a lot of mystery scriptures. Specific.
He said, "Thanks, brother."
All praise the Most High. I know somebody got a problem with it, but you know what I'm saying?
Take it up with God.
Amen.
Yeah.
So the words say, can't fight the word.
You know, anybody else said anything? Y'all brothers was tripping.
Listen, I didn't even have to use my hat today. You dudes speaking all facts. I'm just gonna bring it up for show. You know, it still exists. You guys was speaking all facts.
Speaking of that, I think tomorrow they're gonna announce that the military has to be vaccinated. It's like 1.5 million or something.
That's crazy.
You think they are, huh?
I heard that. Yeah, I'm not certain, but I heard that.
They always perform experiments on the military.
I was just thinking, I said they the main ones to get experiments done on them.
Yeah. The stuff y'all is concerned about has started. Shaming, blaming. Now there's places where you have to show your card to go eat and stuff now.
New York started that, right?
Yeah.
September.
There's a few places here that are doing it on their own.
Really?
Yeah. Businesses are doing it. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. I saw like you said in New York, it's gonna lock back down. Everything gonna lock back down. Like you said,
I don't. Can we afford another lockdown?
I think that's the point.
Finish bankrupting the country to reset everything?
It's a submission.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Because I've heard strategies of overwhelming the system so they can what you call realign it to how
reset.
Yeah, not for the good, brother. Definitely won't be for the good.
I heard in the Philippines they already started with no vaccination, no food.
Wow.
So, you know.
This situations like this that people walk around free, you realize you really ain't free. If somebody said, unless I can put this in your body, you can't eat. You care about me that much, man.
Mm-hmm. You see what Don Lemon said, right? You heard what Don Lemon said?
I don't listen to Don Lemon at all. What did he say, bro?
Something along the lines of, you know, you shouldn't eat.
Really?
If you don't, yeah.
You shouldn't eat. You shouldn't. What do you mean you shouldn't eat? You shouldn't be able to
eat. You shouldn't be able to go out and buy any food. You can't if you don't get this vaccination. My governor called us ultimate knuckleheads, and he's extending the rent moratorium to those who are vaccinated.
What?
No.
Wait a minute. So you're gonna extend the moratorium to only vaccinated people? Is that legal?
This is their playing field, man.
We say illegal because I said so.
Things are getting yo, bro. Yes, sir.
Things out of hand. Yeah, it's out of hand.
It's out of hand.
Send Brother Leslie the video of what happened in my country today. Where the Prime Minister gets head boss.
I didn't even see the video.
Wait, what's that?
You didn't see the video?
No, I didn't see it. The Prime Minister got his head cracked.
Hold on. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, what are you playing in the background? I'm gonna ask you.
No, these guys watching TV.
Because they'll give you a strike for that. That's what I was asking.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying I have a video we had protests home today in my country, and because the Prime Minister want to make the COVID mandatory, the shot, so they had big protests. So when he came out the courthouse, right, that's where they have Parliament then. And the crowd was there, somebody felt a rock and bust his head open.
With the prime minister?
Yeah, it's a big thing now. So I have the video. Them guys was telling me today. So you guys had bust open for that.
Wait a minute, man. Hold on, brother. You sent that to me?
No, I ain't sent it yet. That's what I was
I got
telling Willie. Send it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Send it picture too.
Hey, they not playing games, huh?
Yeah,
No,
this is
man,
getting
them
big,
men-
man.
The men born had fire. The whole almost half the country come out and protest.
Yes, it's protests in other countries, man. America's sitting around like, okay.
Man, I had this feeling these guys take money.
The
They took-
leaders.
Yeah.
This is where I think the Civil War
It-
is,
it-
people. Personally, it's gonna be the un versus the, you know. I don't want to pull my hat up, but you know,
Yeah,
it's one of
boss
those
said,
things.
man.
Keep praying, fellas. Keep praying.
Yeah,
Keep praying.
I was praying earlier today about this.
Pray, man.
Brother Isaiah,
Hey, bro.
you sent. They bust your wait a minute. With a brick?
Yes. That's what Israel do.
I didn't
Stone.
see that one, brother. I see one from Germany. What
No, we send it for him, huh?
Mhm.
And send the picture with him, the still picture.
got hit in the head, huh?
Yeah, that's
Man,
for the COVID.
You hit a potentate in the head with a brick. Man. Yeah, I didn't get that one, brother.
Oh, I think I have it. Oh wait. All right.
You sending it?
I'm trying to send it right now.
Appreciate you.
Okay, wait. There it is.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is sad stuff, man. Hate to see anybody have to get hurt behind it.
Well, I think that's all I can stomach for one night, brother.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to take a break from the world, man. I'm gonna go get some popsicles and watch some cartoons, man.
one thing I always say, man, I look at people that are retired though. I say, man, y'all, that's what's up.
Really, send it?
Yeah, I think I just sent it to you, brother.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, I feel the same way, brother Albert. There's just too much seriousness going on. Where the cartoons at, and where the cartoons and the cereal at?
Yeah,
On a
man.
whole box of Captain Crunch.
Yeah, bro. I'm going back to
Tom and
Jolly
Jerry.
Ranchers. I'm going back to my childhood. I need a break, man. It's too much. I can't believe we've gotten here. We've actually reached a point in this world faster than I thought we would get here.
Things ushered in very quickly.
Yes. I did not. Man, this mess is going to wrap up in my lifetime.
You think so?
I'm afraid so, man. And that, because when I just look at stuff, and like you said, the acceleration and the hatred toward everybody and the division is going on in all groups. It gives me concern. It really gives me concern. Yeah. But all right.
Peace, everybody.
All right, good brothers.
All right, fam.
Have a good night.
All right, peace, everybody.
Yeah.
Peace,
everybody.
Keep your heads up, everybody. Keep your heads up.
Peace, everyone.
All right. Fam.
Peace, everybody.
Peace, brother.
Peace, brother.
Peace, bro. Brother Elba, I sent the video for you as well.
Crazy.
Peace, everyone.
That boy on you. All right, brothers.